Hello, everyone. Sorry for the late start. I woke up like 3 hours ago, but then I fell asleep again. I was like, oh, it's still it's still a little bit early, you know. Closing my eyes for a few seconds won't hurt. Nope, it did. Ah, isn't that how it goes? He's like, oh, it's just 5 more minutes. Close my eyes for 5 more minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like days later, and you're like, what the hell happened? So yeah, new secret boss fight. Okay, everything's still good over here. Oh yeah. I remember finding out that my current manager of the branch is not enough doesn't have enough cooking skill to access the rank 9 ingredients, so now I have to train a whole new manager. Oh, all the money I put in, only to find out she can't access the rank 9 ingredients. Oh. Oh, those moments where you're like, you put so much effort into something, doesn't quite achieve what you were hoping. The fade. Oh, nice. Oh, come on. Nice. Expand. I think I have all this sea people money. Now to see if I can expand or upgrade the seeds a bit more. I'm not sure if I can. They might already be maxed out. But yeah, once again, sorry for the late start. This one's entirely on me. Just a few more minutes wouldn't hurt, right? Hello there, Raylon Anderson. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing alright. Woke up a bit later than planned, but oh well. Oh, these are still going? Never mind then. Are you a fan of Dave the Diver as well? Where am I from? Why do you ask? Why do you need to know this? I'm from the United States. That enough for you? Great? What's great? Cool, cool. No, I'm not a student. I work in a, electronics company inspecting, circuit boards and stuff. You know, not much, but it puts food on the table. Cool? It really isn't. Work is work. What about you? You do anything interesting? High quality cat food. Student artist for free time. I see, I see. Which streamer inspired you to start your own stream? It wasn't any one streamer in particular. It was an agency, rather. Shoujo. They inspired me to, start streaming myself. Nothing beats the net gun, I swear to God. This thing is so good. Discord is free to join. If you want to join, just join. You don't have to ask. Why are there so many of these? Back up. Bit of row, nice. Really? That one cookie cutter shark was only 3 pieces of meat? Crops are all grown, come harvest. Jeez. Alright, to the farm. Oh, wait. Oh. This one. Nope. Oh, you're kidding me. Uh, 50-50? No. You're kidding me. What are you whining about? Two. Oh, come on. 4, 2. Damn. Alright, quite a few 5s. 3. Lots of 3s. 60, 40, 60. What am I growing right now? Beans? Maybe some carrots. And eggplants. Carrots, eggplant, garlic. Carrots. Eggplant. Garlic. Expected date, 2 days, 1 day, 2 days. Rice, expected another 2 days. Right. Less damage, but a larger mag. Tempting. And then the death rifle. Okie doke. Kind of torn between this and the sniper. Although... I think I'll go with the underwater rifle. Total damage is more. I never get tired of watching these. Unless, of course, the same one pops up over and over again. Opal tube. 80 damage, 13 rounds. But I need gold. Gold I do not have at this time. Do I have anything I can sell to the sea people? I have this jade marble. To the blacksmith. Good thing I got money. Machine component. Expensive, but I don't know what it's used for. Can we sell at Cobra Shop or Sea People Workshop? I think I'll sell these here. It's easy enough to get money from just, you know, the restaurant, but I think I'll save these ones, though. Two for one. Another 2 for 1. Too far away. Reefer. Nice. Nice. Another twofer. Oh, got it. I didn't think I would, but I got it. Anyone else here? More vampire squid. Unlucky. Nice. Another twofer. Already I'm at 100 kilograms of fish. think I've caught everything in this immediate area. Ah yes, there's Suwa, as always. Did you ever pass that village tactics exam, Suwa? Oh god, it's that narwhal. Ow. Bitch. Are you still following me? Goddamn. Or the Shrimpy Boys. Sticky bomb gun. What lurks down here? Besides a shovel. Oh, I see you. I see you. Any more Shrimpy Boys? There we go. Ah, there's the big guy. Yeah, too bad. You're getting put on the menu. At some point. No, wait, there's a mirror over here. I don't have to go all the way back up. I don't know why it's all frosted up, considering it's down here. In the hydrothermal vents. It should be steamed up, if anything. nice. A good haul all around. 22, really? I didn't catch that many, did I? Oh, there's Sato, as expected. Today's storm feels especially strong. Luska's here, I can feel it. The hidden card you mentioned earlier. The opportunity to fulfill your dreams of becoming a Marinka completer. I don't really mind if I don't become one. I'll wait for the notification, this is exciting. Monster of Blue Hole. Sorry, Bancho. Oh, damn, that's a lot of olive oil. Click. Alright, gotta get my gun ready. No, underwater rifle. I still need more money, otherwise I can do it. Oh, I can't access the shop? Never mind then. Hang on, my headphones are cutting out. Do I have the gun on? Okay. Damn these fish, go away. What I really want right now is some damn oxygen. Might need that. Lightning harpoon tip. Well, extra 4 damage won't help, or hurt, I guess, rather. What I really want, though, is an emergency O2 tank. Which I'm just not finding somehow. Where's the vortex? Oh, I hear it now. Oh, I hear it now. There it is. Although, if preferably though, I would like to get an emergency O2 tank. Please. Nope. Oh, do I not need those anymore? That might be more useful. Alright, time to go and do this, I guess. Ready or not. This place is even bigger than the other places? Is this where the monster of the blue hole lives? Oh, it's Sharktopus. Great white shark, but has arms like an octopus. Are the shark and octopus in some... This might take me more than one try. Luska. What the? Head of a shark, arms of an octopus. Low budget creature build. Sato really want me to beat this thing? Now's not the time to get cocky. Now I have to defeat it. Oh, jeez. Oh. Ow. Are there any ammo boxes? Are there any ammo boxes? Oh, what the hell? It shoots stuff? Oh, this bullshit. Oh, what the hell? What the hell is this? damn it. Ow. God, fucking, I hate this one. What? Restart, what the hell? What the hell? What is this bullshit? I dodged. I fucking dodged. Fucking... Wait. Oh, its butthole is a weak spot. Come on. Oh, it's only ink. It's only ink. Ow. Okay, 2 tries. 2 tries. Oh. How could something so big be so fast? There's so few sightings. I get both shark and octopus meat. Oh, that was a pain in the ass. This is why I wanted to get emergency oxygen tank. But no, none would just drop. That scooter, though, came in handy. Still not as annoying as Ebirah. fucking... Come here. No, you don't. Had enough of motherfucking sharks for one day. Me without my net gun. I may as well catch a few things while I'm down here. I had my net gun. Why are these stupid swarms everywhere? God damn it. Oh my god. There. Now for the rest of you, I'm knifing to death. I remember seeing a Humboldt squid down here. It was further to the right, though. Or was it? Oh, never mind, it's right here. And as for you two jerks. No. Nope, you're going on the menu. that's enough for one night. I've had enough of this bullshit, I swear to God. I miss my net gun. I saw the notification. A Luska card. The Marinka collection is finally complete. It's glorious. I've seen monsters like it only in movies. I never thought it would actually exist. To think I'd actually see this card in my lifetime. As a Marinka collector, I'm... Thank you, Dave. You've earned the right to call yourself a Marinka completer. I hereby give you... this hat. Given by my Marinka master. This hat means a lot to you, doesn't it? Nothing compared to the joy you've given me. Thank you, Sato. The hat is a little big for me. I'll use it as a decoration. Sounds like a wonderful idea. Wait a moment. Oh, he has a backup hat. You have multiple same hats? The same? Nonsense. The hat I gave you is the original, the one and only. I grew fond of its design, so I bought a similar one. Okay. Anyway, thanks, Sato. If a new Marinka expansion comes out, I'll come find you. This gives me hope for future expansions. I only got 10 from that squid? Damn. The final boss. Kind of. Check out the farm real quick. Where is it? The Polar Eel Pout. Deliver all of that to the branch. I have like a live feed. Oh wait, I have enough for whatever I wanted. Shark karaage, roasted capelin. Kinda wanted that one. But I also kinda wanted this one. Damn. Oh wow, wait, these cost only a few? Damn. Right, waiting room. I could still dispatch them, but I don't know what I need though. Sure. Damn, I have so many servings of this damn thing. 45, 45, 45. As much as I don't want, I want. I see no reason not to. Mayonnaise, that's probably what I should have gotten. Good old vegetable sushi. Ah, damn, I was on my way to clean that up, but got to it before me. Oh, never mind, he's got that. Not bad, better than expected. What were you expecting? Oh hey, 5.0. Nice. Good job, Itsuki. For now. Unfortunately, I will be replacing you. But worry not, you will still have a job. Bancho Sushi upload a new post. There you go. This one? One last feeding. Alright, no pest damage. Alright, I can make the death rifle now. Now that I have stonks. She has her own cooks to thing. Itsuki has a unique career history. When you call her, she sometimes responds from the most peculiar places. Staff introduction. Do you get this at level 20 or something? Alright. That's enough of Dave. That's all I wanted to do today for that on that front. The final boss battle. And the end of like any significant content from Dave the Diver until any future expansion, DLC, whatever. Alright, now for more... What the hell? When did I have caps lock on? The abandoned and creepy Wizard of Oz theme park. All right, this seems interesting.
There is a place.
Oh, hang on. Give me a second here, bud. Don't just start immediately. All right.
There is a place, not over the rainbow, but in North Carolina, that is surrounded by mystery and myth. A place that people say doesn't exist anymore. Home to talking tin men, walking scarecrows, and ruby slippers. Maybe even, talking chicken? Huh? High up in the mountain, a place took those who visited to the Land of Oz. Regularly called a failure and often touted as an abandoned theme park, its story goes a little bit deeper than that. This time, we don't have to wind up TikTok to tell us what happened to North Carolina's Emerald City. We just have to follow the slightly abandoned and stolen Yellow Brick Road.
I gotta get DMCA'd over this.
First published in the year 1900, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum took children on an adventure with Dorothy, the Kansas farm girl who gets swept away from their home by a tornado into the magical land of Oz. The book was an instant success, selling out both its first and second editions. Baum had taken inspiration from his own life to create the novel, as well as from the fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm, Hans Christian Andersen, and Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Baum wanted to take his imaginative book and create more from it. In 1906, in an interview, he reported that he had just purchased land on an island off the coast of California called Pedlo to create a living version of the Wizard of Oz that people could visit. A fairy tale paradise for children. Instead, he took to a liking to Coronado Beach and resided at hotels there for months at a time writing further novels. His idea for an Oz park never came, and there was no actual evidence found that he had even purchased the island, or one that even resembles the Pedlo name existing in the area. By 1938, the book had sold more than 1 million copies, with many adaptations of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz being made, from Broadway musicals to silent films. None could match the success of the 1939 film, The Wizard of Oz.
Many miles east of nowhere lies the amazing land of Oz, a magnificent empire created in the mind of a man who wrote a great book about it. Like wildfire in the wheat field, the fabulous tale of the Wizard of Oz spread from town to city, to nation, to the entire world.
The film would use cutting-edge technology to bring the whimsical world to the big screen, becoming one of the most well-known movies ever made, and perhaps even more successful than the book it was based on. The film didn't dampen the book's success, at least, with it going on to even bigger sales. By 1956, the original children's book would have sold 3 million copies. That same year, it would also enter the public domain for copyright. Throughout history, there have been many mentions of the Wizard of Oz characters and themes appearing at amusement parks, fairs, and shopping centers throughout the United States. But it would be a trio of brothers that would plan to build the most prominent tourist attraction based on them ever. In the mid-1950s, Grover Robbins, a lumberman, returned to his hometown of Blowing Rock, North Carolina. Tired of the industry, he purchased a railroad and train that he saw had potential. While the Boone area had little enthusiasm for the plans, with help from his brothers Harry and Spencer, they scrapped together the money to make it happen. He said those days, having your own steam train was like owning a dinosaur. People wanted to see it. The brothers would put their ideas into the creation of Tweetsie Railroad, a place that would become the state's very first theme park. Opening just a few years after Disneyland, it would feature an excursion train ride pulled by an iconic coal-fired steam locomotive. Using the popular at the time Wild West theme, the brothers created the most popular tourist attraction in the area, bringing in families from all over the state.
Nice.
Inspired by their success, they would create their second attraction, this time in the Smoky Mountains. Rebel Railroad opened in 1961, today called Dollywood. The brothers had no plans to slow down, developing tourist attractions all throughout the mountains, and it wouldn't be long until the group came up with their next idea, something bigger, offering more, and taking you not only up a mountain, but into the land of Oz.
Take a close look. See anything familiar? How about the constant activity, the haste, the pressure? No, you don't know Jim, but you know the symptoms. The answer, Jim thinks, must be away. A place away from the demands, the pressure, the unrelenting cycle.
Oh, God,
Someone
what
has
is
told
this
Jim Crimmins
VHS
about
quality?
a place high in the grandeur of North Carolina's mountains, at a town called Banner Elk. And a man tells him, we are building such a place.
At an area known as Beech Mountain, a former popular lumbering area that was becoming increasingly popular for skiing, and more people wanted to experience it. A dentist from Birmingham, Alabama, purchased a large area of Beech Mountain land to build his planned ski resort on top of the mountain. After the purchase, the owner had begun becoming more involved in politics, and rather than develop the resort, he would sell it in 1962 to a group named the Appalachian Development Corporation, the company owned by the Robbins brothers. After the big success of Tweetsie, Rebel Railroad, and their resorts, they planned to develop their new biggest resort yet. With plenty of space on top of the 5,506-foot mountain, they formed ideas for what would be their third major tourist destination.
Visit the parking lot of this place and discover where these skiers come from. They are almost all Southerners, they are mostly beginners, and they are skiing here at Beech Mountain, North Carolina.
Beech Mountain had some of the highest slopes in the area, and Americans had more and more money to spend on leisure activities. The timing seemed just right. With a total investment plan of $5 million, this new resort would be incredibly ambitious. A total resort community that didn't ruin the mountain, but embraced it. The 8,000-acre site will be home to a mountaintop village, one of the most extensive ski lift facilities in the country, 4 18-hole golf courses, planned multiple home residential developments, and more. The ski area opened in 1967. As the site continued development in 1969, a $3.5 million monorail built by Arrow Development was announced. Sadly, it never happened, but the plans wouldn't end there. Grover Robbins wanted this to be a year-round facility, not just operating when the ski lifts would be busy in the winter. He would build his third theme park on the mountain, and to design it, they would turn to their close friend, Jack Pentis, who had worked on various projects at Tweetsie. The Charlotte-based artist, founder of the Carolina Clowns, collector of Mickey Mouse memorabilia, and the man who would later go on to create the concept of soft play equipment, would be perfect for the job. The brothers would take him up the mountain to try and come up with the idea at the top. The windswept trees instantly made him think of one thing: The Wizard of Oz, and then throwing apples at the characters in the movie. Jack was convinced when he saw a natural cave that it could be Oz, and he began planning it on his knees from a childlike perspective. Announced in 1968, the Charlotte artist, along with his associate, Joe Sonderman, would turn the mountaintop into the wonderful land of Oz, a themed outdoor park said to be of the Disneyland caliber, on a much smaller budget, that would not ruin, but fit naturally into the surrounding setting. After
Bold
Pentis
claims
suggested
there.
using the Oz theme for the park, work on the idea began quickly. The timing of the announcement was somewhat helped by another boost in popularity for The Wizard of Oz, though a somewhat sad one. In 1969, Judy Garland would pass away, bringing the characters and stories of Oz to the forefront of people's minds once again. In early
Wait,
1970,
47? What did she
MGM announced
die
an
of?
auction for all of its warehouses of props and costumes, and for the under construction Wizard of Oz theme park in North Carolina, it provided the perfect opportunity to help get authentic costumes and props for the park. Spencer Robbins was sent to Hollywood with a $25,000 budget to purchase as many costumes and props from The Wizard of Oz as possible. He wouldn't be the only one, and his main bidding competition for the items came from former MGM actress Debbie Reynolds, a huge collector of movie memorabilia. Spencer Robbins made a deal with Reynolds that if she would refrain from bidding on any Oz artifacts, she could display them during the park's closed winter months at her museum for no cost. Not only did she agree, she signed up to be a special guest at the grand opening of the park.
Damn.
The timing and shipping of the items with Reynolds made the movement of them impractical, and she never did receive the items each winter. The park's music was created by Lunis McGlowan, who created some incredible songs over his lifetime. With his help, they were able to get the rights to use the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow within the park. Dorothy's new songs were recorded onto tape by singer Mary Mayo, with her daughter Laurie recording Dorothy's audio speaking parts. The entertainment and dances used throughout the park were choreographed by Alice Leggett Lamar. 3 years in the making, the Land of Oz, atop Beech Mountain, opened on June 15th, 1970, with a ribbon-cutting ceremony welcoming 4,000 people on the first day. Debbie Reynolds, along with her daughter Carrie Fisher, 7 years before Star Wars, helped
Fisher? Before... Oh. Wait, why did she take the last name Fisher then? Debbie Reynolds, Carrie... Was that her father's name or something? I need to look this up later.
cut the ribbon with many tourism executives in attendance. Not everything at the park was ready for opening day, but within the first month, nearly 40,000 people visited the attraction, paying $3 each. It didn't lay over the rainbow or take a flying sofa moose to get to reach the Land of Oz. Those visiting had a choice of transportation, either the ski lift or a bus which would drive up the mountain roads. When reaching the top, the first area found would be the Oz Museum, containing the movie props that had been purchased. The next stop would be the Judy Garland Memorial Overlook. Judy Garland was originally in talks to attend the park opening before her death. The Overlook was dedicated to her. As your visit continued, you could see the Gale Farm. Rather than being a shack like in the book or the house of the movie, the farmhouse was designed after the one in the famous American Gothic painting. Inside, it was filled with antiques. The barn served as a petting zoo where children could interact with farm animals. The sound of roaring winds picked up as visitors were ushered into the storm cellar, a dark maze of noise, music, and blacklight walls. After you experienced the tornado, you came out again into the farmhouse, but this time everything inside was tilted, as if slammed into the ground. The effect was often used in haunted shack-style attractions, but the seamless connection to the storm tunnel gave a unique experience. Outside, visitors caught their first glimpse of the iconic Yellow Brick Road. Made of 40,000 bricks, which were specifically made to withstand any temperature. They were yellow glazed so that they never needed painting, and pebbled to prevent slipping. Only one tree, those which inspired the design in the first place, was cut down to make way for the Yellow Brick Road. Holes were cut in many of the buildings to keep existing trees in place. Next, visitors would find themselves in Munchkin Land, full of tiny houses. No munchkins could be found in the area, but on special occasions they would dress up children in the original costumes from the movie which they had purchased. The Dorothys within the park wore red shoes, and able to use the word red slippers as they were created by MGM. In the book, she wore silver shoes. The majority of the time, each group would have a Dorothy join you as your guide down the road. As you progress through the attraction, you would encounter the characters from the book in mini show experiences, often incorporating song and dance. Based on original designs by Jack Pentes, in costumes made by the Brooks Costume Company of New York, they would use chin straps to appear like they were talking to you using pre-recorded voice tracks recorded on tape. As you continued your journey, you would encounter the Wicked Witch, who was much more comical than the movie version. Eventually, you would find yourself at the Emerald City, filled with the Rainbow Restaurant, gift shops, a 15-minute musical show where you would see the characters together for the first time, the Lion would get his courage, the Tin Man his heart, Scarecrow his brain, and Dorothy her heart's desire to return to Kansas. Sadly, Billina was nowhere to be found. The show ended with an arrangement of Over the Rainbow, the only music used not created by Lunis McGlowan. During this segment, Dorothy disappears from the stage in a puff of smoke, before reappearing in one of the hot air balloons above the crowd, waving goodbye. Of course, for a theme park, there had to be a ride. The balloons would be the one inside of the park. It remained open during the show, and the Dorothy double would board it with guests covered up before revealing herself for the final moment. The ride was built by a North Carolina company and modeled on a standard ski lift mechanism. It took you on a scenic ride over the shops and trees of the area. This also served as the exit point of the whole attraction after you had explored the Emerald City.
Interesting. But I can't imagine that, like...
Up,
It's only...
up and over the
You, like,
rainbow
might go
at the
there, like, once or
pinnacle, there
twice,
is a
and then,
fabled
like, yeah,
place
you've
called
experienced the whole
land
thing.
of Oz. It has become the
It's not
leading
really
tourist
good for
attraction
repeat
in North
visits.
Carolina. Here you can follow the yellow brick road and meet the characters along the way.
By the end of the first year, over 300,000 people had visited the Land of Oz. It was announced in newspapers as the year's most outstanding tourist development, and its future looked bright. A fantasy land built into nature that carried you over the rainbow. A place that was built while preserving the mountain's natural beauty that was universally praised by those who visited. Land of Oz continued to be popular in the following seasons, staying mostly the same with its performances, music, and museum artifacts wowing those who visited. Walking the yellow brick road was loved by many who visited the small yet successful park in the mountains. Sadly, it wouldn't last long, and in 1975, a section of the park would be destroyed, and this time not by the Gnome King. Behind the scenes, not all was going well for the location's owners, Carolina Caribbean Corporation. Their filing for Chapter 10 bankruptcy was said to be due to low visitors during the ski season, but it was later revealed it was also due to poor cash management. During the restructuring, the Land of Oz did open in June 1975, and it was again profitable during the season. The company's future, however, looked uncertain, even if the park itself was shining bright and still had promise. That was until the night of December 28, 1975, when a catastrophic fire swept through parts of the Emerald City, destroying much of the main building, theater, and gift shops in the surrounding area. The cause of the fire was never truly determined, but the general opinion was that it was arson during a theft of the MGM movie costumes and props, which were held in the museum on the other side of the park. It was reported at the time that many items had been taken, including the dress worn by Judy Garland in the film. The fire and the theft have become the story of mystery and myth for decades. The real truth of what happened is still mostly unknown. Many places state the props and dress were lost in the fire, but that would have not been possible considering it was on the complete other side of the park. Another lost dress has been found that Judy Garland wore in the movie. The location of the one missing from the Land of Oz still remains unknown to this day. Destroyed in the fire, along with the theater, was the building that housed the characters of the theme park's costumes. The park was looking up to $600,000 to repair fully. Pentest drove up to the park shortly after and said it felt like when you had to go home when there is a death in the family. The Land of Oz was his baby, and the park's future, and if it could recover, was unknown. Just 5 months later, in April 1976, it was announced that the theme park would reopen on schedule. The bankrupt Carolina Caribbean Corporation would be out, and instead, it will be operated by Resort Management Inc., who had been appointed by Tri-South mortgage investors on a 5-year agreement. The real estate investment trust held a mortgage on the Land of Oz and had reclaimed the property under the reorganization proceedings, with a plan to turn the resort into what it hoped will be its most successful yet, with its winter skiing program and the summer Land of Oz theme park. RMI had a rapid construction schedule to bring the park back to life within just 3 months. They planned to expand the Emerald City with a new theater, though it would never quite be the same and grand as it was before. They also redesigned the new character costumes and updated audio-visual equipment, coming to a cost of $250,000. The decision to reopen the park was on how successful it had been in its opening 5 years. In 1975, it was still bringing in $100 120,000 people and making a profit of around $90,000. The characters had a complete redesign, with a new show, but the majority of the experience remained similar to what it was before, with the addition of a puppet show. The 1976 season attracted 75,000 visitors. During the next few years, however, under the 5-year contract of RMI, attendance slowly dropped year after year. With the emergence of more and more amusement parks, with bigger and bolder rides appearing throughout the USA, specifically Carowinds, newer and bolder movies hitting the silver screen, and a changing economy with the gas crisis, it was tough for the small little mountain attraction to compete. The 1980 season had its lowest attracted attendance of 60,000 visitors, and it would be announced that the 5-year contract would not be extended and Land of Oz would not reopen. Jack Pentas once again came up with a plan to develop and update the Land of Oz in August of 1980, with new concepts to overhaul the park and bring it up to date with new attractions being added every year through 1987. Due to the estimated $3 million price tag, it was not worth to go ahead with the plan and the park would be closed instead. The owners began searching for investors to refurbish and reopen the park, with the possibility of it coming back was still hoped for. Little investment had been put into the park since it had been reopened. Areas of it were quite run down, and it would not be cheap to bring it up to scratch and bring people back. At a minimum, $165,000 was required just for essential missed maintenance, after the park had stood basically abandoned for over 9 months. During that time, security had to be increased and buildings were boarded up as many urban explorers tried to gain access to the property. The nature of the area had also taken its toll on the buildings left up in the mountain. Jack Pentas remained sad that his creation was falling apart, but said he would rather see it closed than operate in its now damaged form. No investors came and the Land of Oz sat abandoned. After a few years, the balloon ride still stood rusting, and the rebuilt Emerald City was in shambles. The once top tourist attraction in North Carolina was becoming a distant memory. For 5 years, it sat deteriorating. Eventually,
is that just someone's house right? Wait, that's not part of the park. That's just someone's house right there, right? Did they build that afterwards? It's like, hey, we're selling property up by the old Wizard of Oz land. It's cheap.
The Emerald City was bulldozed to make room for a planned gated residential development named Emerald Mountain. The balloon ride was reported to have been purchased by a New York company who were on their way to tear it down.
Are these just like random people's homes down there or something?
Oh no.
It's just a yellow brick.
No, Billina, you don't understand. This was the Yellow Brick Road.
Oh.
It leads to the Emerald City.
Soon, there'll be no one left who remembers Oz.
The Land of Oz, though, wouldn't be forgotten.
Were there sequel movies? Hang on, what the hell? I had no idea those existed until today, until seeing this.
The removal of the Emerald City, Emerald Mountain Realty took over the property with the goal of development while turning the extinct park into an enchanting private garden, restoring what remained of the Yellow Brick Road and more. One of their first goals was to prevent any further demolition or damage to what was left of Oz. Sections of the park were saved, including the Gale Farmhouse, barn, and some of the Yellow Brick Road. On July 4th, 1991, sections of the park were reopened as part of Beech Mountain's Independence Day celebration, and to celebrate the start of its redevelopment into condo
like the classic
complexes,
costumes
visitors could
around.
return to Oz, and this time it wouldn't be nearly as terrifying as the movie of that name. Students appeared as characters from The Wizard of Oz, and you could visit Dorothy's house, which was then the home of the property owner, to see props from the movie. Luckily, no Wheelers had moved in, and it didn't take an egg to save it. Its future as an abandoned theme park would change when a reunion for the original park employees, known as Ozzies, began. The Land of Oz key had been wound back up, What would become the Autumn of Oz event saw 100 to 200 people come together to talk about their memories of a place that meant so much for them. The event began to grow, and by the year 2000, over 1,000 people were attending the now public event. By 2010, over 8,000 people would attend. Each year since, the once thought doomed Land of Oz would open during the autumn for special events, proving the original plan still had merit. And just like Jack Pumpkinhead himself, piece by piece, what remained of Oz was restored. Autumn of Oz once again just finished its successful opening for 2022, bigger and better than ever, with arts and crafts.
Wait, 2022? Damn, for all this time, I thought, like, I heard there was a Wizard of Oz land, but I always thought it just, like, shut down. It just shut down, remained abandoned forever. No, 2022, they still run, like, a small attraction in the place.
Live performances, character meet and greets, and while the original Emerald City and Balloon Ride is no more, a small temporary one is created for those visiting the special event. It will return again in 2023. The park today celebrates its history, the Wizard of Oz, and more, with private events, tours, and the Autumn of Oz.
What are we gonna do now? I wish all of us from Oz to return there safely. As for the Emerald City and all the people in it, to be restored to life.
The Land of Oz never really was abandoned, not completely, and it continues with the same heart it did when it opened, inviting you to take a nostalgic stroll down the yellow brick road. The money made from these events goes directly back into restoring the park. You can even rent out Dorothy's home and explore the park on a private tour. Over the years since, more and more, piece by piece, has returned to Oz. Even what is believed to be the very last balloon ride vehicle from the ride in existence.
Glad to see. This had
Oz
kind
is
of a happy
something
ending.
Very special. I think everyone who has had anything to do with Oz gets this feeling. I think it's more than just the fact that the story of the Wizard of Oz was the most popular story, children's story of the last 100 years. There isn't a child in America who's ever watched TV that hasn't seen the story, knows it by heart, who's had it read to them, who've read it themselves. And so Oz is more than a family theme park. I like to consider it as an American heritage. It's part of Americana, and it has three lovely things put together. A beautiful, beautiful mountaintop. It has man-made facilities that fit so nicely with that, and then you add the magical fantasy to it, and you have Oz.
Just 6 months before the park was set to open in 1970, Grover Robbins passed away from bone cancer, never seeing the completed version of the park open that he and his brothers had created. The Land of Oz has been special for so many people over the years, and Grover and his two brothers' impact on the tourism industry in the area can still be felt today, with their creations Tweetsie Railroad, Rebel Railroad, and the Land of Oz still in one form or another, allowing families and people from all over the world to create incredible memories and be whisked away to themed areas that can normally only be imagined. Jack Pentis passed away in 2015 at the age of 83. The Pentis Way was a staple of the early days of the Land of Oz theme park, with everything designed to look perfect for children to experience the wonder of Oz. His obituary states that Jack Pentis rode his motorcycle sidecar over the rainbow, an inspiration to generations of artists and children around the world.
It was just a magic place and a magic time. It was the love of my life. I will never, ever get over it. And the sadness of my life that it's not there anymore. And I've learned to live with that. I guess through being grateful for the joy that it did create for the time that it was here.
Many places list the Land of Oz as one of the most unique abandoned theme parks in the world, but the truth is, it never really was abandoned for long, and has never been by those who continue to make it a special place today. The Land of Oz has often been called a failed park, but its promise to take you into the world of The Wizard of Oz still runs strong today. Unlike the movie, Land of Oz was not just a dream, but a reality. While it has a different look from how it did all those years ago, the feel, love, and imagination still remain. Its story is one of constant love and care from the many people who had been part of it since opening in 1970. A bittersweet story of an extinct park that still exists for many to enjoy and support. Shut for multiple years, it rose again as a special, reimagined and restored theme park, now partially back as a place not only taking you over the rainbow, but back in time, allowing those who want to return to Oz.
I feel like the fact that I've never heard of the sequel movie or whatever means that it didn't do very well.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Expedition Extinct. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to...
I enjoyed it. I indeed did. 2.2 million... 1 year ago. It did say 2022 in the video. Still though, like... Damn. I want to watch this religious theme park one, but it's 45 minutes long. Alright, let's go with Ghost Town in the Sky.
Ride all the rides as often as you like. One admission price includes all ride all the rides as often as you like.
1080p,
One admission
please.
price
Thank you
includes
very
all
much.
rides and entertainment.
The amusement park has not been open a full season now for years, but all that is about to change.
Ghost Town in the Sky opens tomorrow.
Every minute is action-packed as you experience the excitement of the Old West. Ghost Town offers a day of fun and thrills for the entire family.
A mountain amusement park that planned to open this month is now staying closed.
All the shows, ride all the rides for one admission price.
Well, the weather today was perfect for the reopening of a mountain amusement park.
Railroad or take the chairlift to fabulous Ghost Town and the Mile High Fun Park.
It may be closed for the winter and parts of it put up for sale for a short time, but Ghost Town in the Sky is showing hints of new life.
Get set for the greatest in family entertainment. Hurry to Ghost Town in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, where the fun never stops.
Ghost Town in
Ghost
the
Town
Sky.
in the Sky, or Ghost Town Village as it was rebranded, was a Wild West theme park located in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. While many Wild West theme parks have existed throughout the years, this park had a unique feature. It was located on top of a mountain and sat 4,600 feet, around a mile high, on Buck Mountain. The park was the idea of R.B. Coburn, a Covington, Virginia native who moved to Maggie Valley. He ran several successful businesses in Tennessee, and after visiting many different real-life ghost towns in Western America, he came up with the idea to create one himself. The park was designed by Russell Pearson and constructed for around $1 million in 1960. Construction began in September 1960, and multiple bulldozers made their way to the top of the mountain to shave off 45 feet of dirt and rock at the top. In fact, thousands of yards of dirt and rock were moved, becoming the foundations for the park. The buildings began construction in mid-November, and by May there were more than 40 life-size replicas. The grass seed alone cost $3,000 in 1960, which would be around $25,000 today.
Jeez.
The only way to access the park on opening was via an incline funicular railway, travelling up the mountain, though a shuttle bus was available to people who required it as well as staff. Construction of the incline railway was a feat by itself. Bulldozers carved out around a 3,300 foot clearing up the side of the mountain. The railway featured 2 cars, each able to hold 48 passengers connected to cables and motors to drag them up the mountain. The incline railway was actually the first US double incline railway, as well as the steepest, raising nearly 1,200 feet. The park itself opened on May 1st, 1961, and quickly became one of North Carolina's most popular tourist attractions. Pearson and Coburn would go on to open 2 other theme parks together over the years.
Frontierland in Cherokee, North Carolina, as well as Six Gun Territory in Florida. Throughout its lifetime, the park was actually really popular, and at one point 620,000 guests visited Ghost Town each year, and some earlier dates had more than 10,000 guests in the park at the same time. The park also provided a huge boost for the economy of Maggie Valley. As many as 75 to 100 local staff were hired to operate the park. The stores in the park were actually leased as well to local businesses. The later years of the park's life, though, were anything but successful, and some even called it cursed. During the winter of 1962, the famous double chairlift began construction. The chairlift provided an exciting and unique way to reach the park and was able to transport 900 passengers per hour. The lift travelled 3,370 feet up the mountain at a speed of 3.5 miles per hour and cost $150,000 to build in 1962. These days, that would be over $1.2 million. The entrance of the park featured the large Ghost Town sign along with the ticket office, store and restaurant before you took the climb up to the park. The park is split into different towns on different elevations of the mountain, each featuring a different theme. These include the Indian Village, Mountain Town, and Mining Town. The heart and most popular section of the park was a recreation of an Old West town, complete with saloons, a schoolhouse, bank, jail, and a church, which actually featured services on Sunday mornings. So really, this ghost town wasn't actually a ghost town at all. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
One of the highlights of the park, and perhaps the most fondly remembered, were the gunfights that were staged in the street here throughout the day every 40 minutes for guests to enjoy.
Every 40 minutes?
The Silver Dollar Saloon featured hourly shows of can-can dancers, while the Red Dog Saloon featured live country and bluegrass music performances throughout the day. The Indian Village section of the park also featured shows about Indian life and Old West days. Mining Town had areas where you could pan for gold and silver and again features some smaller shows. Mountain Town had a show about the life in the Smoky Mountains. During the 1970s, the park was averaging around 400,000 visitors before it began to decline. The park was actually sold under a stock swap with the National Forest. R.B. Coburn bought the park back though in 1986 and he added its first roller coaster. Originally called the Red Devil, opening in 1988, the coaster is quite unique in that rather than boarding the train and heading up a lift hill, its boarding section is at the top of the hill. And once the ride rolls out of the station, you are sent down a steep drop at a 90-degree curve and into its one inverted loop. The ride's track extends over the edge of the mountain, really adding to the thrilling aspect of the ride with beautiful views as well. The other roller coaster, which opened in 1992, was a small children's coaster called Tumbleweed, originally called the Little Devil. Above the ghost town was a section of the park with a variety of amusement rides and the mountaintop music hall and Indian dance hall. The park remained relatively the same throughout its lifetime. Around the time of the new millennium, the park had a decline in attendance and plagued with multiple maintenance issues, with rides breaking down constantly or staying closed, and the attendance continued to decline due to the bad word of mouth. Ooh. It didn't help that the interest in the Wild West in the US was declining also throughout the 80s. During a hot summer day in 2002, the chairlift actually malfunctioned, leaving riders stranded for more than 2 hours. Coburn had already been spending thousands of dollars maintaining the chairlift and the incline railway. A few days after this incident, the park's owner closed the park fully and put it up for sale. From then on out, the park has had nothing but issues. The park remained closed in 2003 after a successful 41 years of operation. The park remained closed and unmaintained until the park was sold in August 2006. And after $38 million was spent on repairs and renovations, it actually reopened its doors with everything running except the incline railway, the train, and the monster in 2007. The reopening of the park was scheduled to coincide with the motion picture Dean Teaster's Ghost Town, which was filmed in the western town within the park.
Every town has a story. Ghost Town has a legend.
Kill all you can.
In 2007, the addition of Heritage Town Square was added at the end of the chairlift and incline railway. The area featured a museum showing the history of Ghost Town, a restaurant, Geronimo Drop, which was relocated from Libertyland in Tennessee, the Casino, and the Cliffhanger. 2009 also saw a haunted house attraction open during the Halloween season called the House of Terror. By 2009, though, the park had filed for bankruptcy, stating the usual reason of the economy and gas pricing being the issue, after spending an additional $11 million. 6 of that was on the Cliffhanger roller coaster alone. The park was still scheduled to open in May. The park claimed it needed a substantial loan to continue running and nobody wanted to offer it. The park asked the town for money, but it was also rejected. The failure to receive the loan would mean the loss of almost 200 jobs. An anonymous investor provided the money according to the park president, and the park opened as planned, except for the rides which had not yet been inspected. The park closed, struggling in 2009 after reports it was unable to pay its employees. The owners of Ghost Town were unable to pay for its liability insurance also, and it was cancelled. This happened just before a large mudslide on February 5th, 2010.
Emergency responders were called to the scene of a mudslide on Rich Cove Road. That's off of Highway 19.
The mudslide happened when the retaining walls failed. Luckily, nobody was injured, but around 40 homes were evacuated and 3 were damaged. The main access road, Rich Cove Road, was buried under the mud. Rumours suggested that the owners had even known as far as a year in advance that the retaining walls were unstable. While the park's president said it would reopen for the 2010 season, it did not. While it did receive federal funding to clear up the access road. Ghost Town fell under foreclosure proceedings and remained closed for the next 3 years. Now steps in Alaska Presley.
Ghost Town owner Alaska Presley may be well into retirement years, but she's hard at work getting the Maggie Valley Amusement Park ready to open.
We'll definitely be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
She'll see how business goes before considering opening all week, a cautionary position after reopening the park last summer for the first time in years to a series of problems ranging from water issues, vandalism, and not passing safety inspections.
A Maggie Valley resident and an investor in Ghost Town during the 1960s, who bought the park out of bankruptcy in 2012 as the sole bidder at auction at the age of 88 and hoped to save the park. She managed to open the park in a limited capacity from 2012 to 2014 and had plans to turn it into an Appalachian village. The theme of Ghost Town never really fit in with the surrounding area, and it would be a more fitting theme generally. In 2012, the chairlift entrance was reopened and people were able to take tours to see what was planned for the future. The 2013 season opened again with a limited capacity. During the 4 years the park was idle and without any security, the property was subject to vandalism and theft.
The turnout, I'm appreciated, and it's so nice, and I'm so happy to see them. I hope that I can make them happy.
A change in laws also meant the park required millions of dollars to be spent to pass inspections and be up to code. The current wells were not able to pass inspection, and 4 new wells had to be drilled, and all of them were failures except one. The park struggled to get water to it on top of the mountain and was unable to open again. The option of city water was decided, and virtually every piece of the old system had to be replaced.
I've been 3 years trying to get city water up there.
The pipes at one point bursting. No water means no chance to open.
As of yesterday, they're still up on the mountain trying to glue pipes together.
After all these failures of the park, the lower section, which housed the Western theme park, was placed up for sale with an asking price of $3 million to try and attract investors for the upper section of the park. Alaska Presley's idea was to change the upper portion into a Holy Land replica theme park called the Resurrection Mountain, and would feature a large cross on top of the mountain, which even had contractors in to prepare and plan for its construction.
Locate the property lines and establish a piece of property that she's going to dedicate to the cross.
2015, the property was again taken off the market after the major progress on the redevelopment of the other parts of the property, including a rebrand from Ghost Town in the Sky to Ghost Town Village, with a planned reopening date of June 1st, 2016. The rebranded park was again to feature gunfights, the chairlift, gift shops, a museum showing the history of the park, and more. The park, however, was unable to open its former roller coasters and rides as the costs were too high. This idea, though, didn't last long, and the park was announced in June 2016 not to be opening for the year after the failure to get enough water to the park, even after the shops inside were already leased. The whole park this time was put up for sale, and the listing still exists today while the park sits abandoned on top of its mountain. Many people look back with fond memories of the park, and it ran on nostalgia for many years, with guests who had visited in the past wanting their kids to get that same experience. Will this park cling on and reopen again? Looking at the current state of the place, unfortunately, I highly doubt it. At least not in its current form. The park was a fun experience to visit and a unique place that cannot be found in many locations around the world. Unfortunately now, this park sits abandoned as a real-life ghost town in the sky. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to join us on our future tours on
Yeah, I imagine there would have been problems like building an amusement park, theme park of any kind up on top of a mountain. Like issues getting water up there? Yeah, I can see that. Like the transportation? Yeah, I can see that. I'm surprised at like all these crazy like, you know, theme park ideas like Wizard of Oz, Ghost Town up on top of a mountain, and all the random bullshit that Disney does. Okie doke. Well, that's gonna be all from me for today. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Hope y'all had fun. I know I did. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thank you to anyone watching the VOD, and thank you as always to lovely fortune tellers watching this before I stream. Let me see who's on so I can go raid. No one but the big shots on right now. Alright, let's just see who's playing Dave the Diver then. Oh, it's her again. A Taurus Star Child. Alright. Get that raid ready. That's 1T, right? Alrighty, but yeah, thanks for being here. Remember to hydrate, rest up, eat tasty things, all that good jazz, and peace!